Hey you, welcome back to the channel. And guys, today we're going to review Startup, episode 3 of season 1, entitled Proof of Concept. And guys, as I had been saying about this show, I'm starting to really like the show. Deals with the world of cryptocurrency, where now we have a situation where three individuals from different backgrounds are linked to a cryptocurrency called Gencoin. And at this stage, they're trying to raise money for Gencoin. This is all due to the fact that unexpectedly, Nick's father has returned. And Nick's father was laying low, but he's come back to let Nick know that he has to return the $2 million that's been placed in Gencoin. And this is where we get Nick visiting Izzy to break the news to her that money needs to be returned, all with the exception of Ronald's $300,000. As we know, Ronald was still pretty much a Gencoin investor, as we got to see at the last week's ending. He wanted in. He wanted to go legit. His life of crime, he wanted over. And so now he's part of the team. And Nick's father, a very colorful character, very interesting. Nick's father, we can get from his personality that he represents this. He kind of reminds me of what happened with the Weinstein scandal when it comes to his personality, a life of excess, a life of gluttony and sex. And this seems to fit the character of Nick's father. This kind of mix of this Harvey Weinstein personality and his very troubled background. Nick's all mixed up in this, trying to separate himself from it, although at the same time wanting and needing this money to make Gencoin work. But as he breaks this news to Izzy, it's not the best news, but they now have to try to raise money in order to get Gencoin up and running. And we get to see Ronald basically kind of go over his superiors' heads in the crime game. And he's looking for business with the Dominicans and various other drug cartels to try to get them interested in Gencoin, try to get them to invest money into Gencoin. Of course, this doesn't go over well with the with the person who heads his drug cartel, who seems to be at one time a friend of his, but we can see now that they're going head to head, and it's not looking good. It's seemingly that Ronald's gonna have to, through some act of violence at some stage, go toe to toe with the comrade of his that was at the head of his drug cartel in little Haiti with him. It appears Ronald's making decisions without them. That's not going over well. So, we also got to see, Ronald's son react to this. And this is the basically the story of, trying or where there is a type of a character who's struggling, trying to get out of the drug game, trying to get his family out, but at the same time being forced to make decisions that aren't that are against pretty much his character at this point, and his sons watching him have to try to balance being a father between being involved in the drug game in this type of philosophy of do what I say and not as I do. and his son, it doesn't seem to be working well with his son. And unfortunately, uh, it's seeming like his son is really trying to uh, get into this world that he's very much like his father Ronald was in the beginning, although Ronald's doing all he can to take him out of this life, that it's very much interwoven into him, and he doesn't want to leave that life alone. So it's going to be a struggle, and there is a type of foreshadowing, I think, of tragedy with Ronald's son, involved in this. And so far, it doesn't seem to be going well with the fundraising of Gen Coin. Both Izzy and Nick, are fighting Ronald's, pretty much at a point where he's the only real investor in Gen Coin, and why is Nick needed? Although Nick was pretty much the heading up the project initially because he had all the funding. Now that the funding is gone, they're kind of all in this debate about why Nick is needed at all and how this is going to work. Is everything seemingly falling apart? And Nick's letting them know the gravity of the situation, that hey, we can go to prison if we don't return these $2 million. And so they have to come to the place where they have to let it go, and it's almost like they're starting from scratch now. Agent Rask has with the new agent who's his partner, who I believe is going to be key in putting together what's the connection between Nick and Ronald and Izzy. Agent Rask and this agent, they are starting to put it together that hey, there's a connection between these three people, and now they're pretty much on their heels, now looking to discover what that is and how they're all connected. So as I have been saying in earlier episodes, I'm wondering how, if Agent Raz is going to get involved in this. It looks like, because he is an opportunist FBI agent, he's not a good FBI agent. He is the standard dirty cop. And as Nick's father was letting him know that he isn't, Agent Rask is, FBI Agent Rask isn't someone they need to be concerned with at this point, for the most part, as Agent Raz wants in. So I can kind of see Agent Raz somehow joining forces with Nick, Izzy, and Ronald, and wanting a cut of Gen Coin, and getting involved some type of way. Either that, or it's going to be this cat and mouse game where he's after the team and trying to bust them. But guys, like this week's episode as well, proof of concept, and looking forward to finally seeing the team come in contact with Agent Rask. He's already been on Nick's heels, and I would imagine the next encounter with Nick's going to be a lot different than the first. A very formal interrogation this time, or interview, and I think Nick's going to realize that he's going to have to kind of play ball with Agent Rask, and seeing that again he is opportunity some kind of way, him become part of this team is probably my prediction for what's going to happen. But anyway, guys, that was this week's episode. Guys, tell me if you're watching this show, if you like it, especially if you're in the cryptocurrency space. Let me know if it's a type of show that you like. Guys, if you like content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe. And until next time, take care.